Hello everyone, welcome back to my online biology classes. In this lecture, we are going to deal with the remaining portions from the chapter Human Health and Disease. So, in this lecture, we are basically going to deal with a very important and a sensitive topic, that is drug and alcohol abuse, which means the improper use or the misuse of the drug and alcohol by the human beings, which in turn can lead to several harmful or adverse effects or complications in the lifestyle and also the health of the living organisms, especially the human beings. Okay, so what is a drug? A drug is defined as a chemical substance which is also known as medicine, and it is used in the treatment, diagnosis, or prevention of the different types of diseases. So basically, drug is nothing but a chemical composition, okay, of a substance which is used in the various types of treatments, prevention, or diagnosis, or the different types of tests of the all various types of diseases. Clear? Whenever a drug or a medicine is consumed by a living organism, it generally causes several types of physiological or psychological changes in the body, okay, which may be either useful or harmful based how much quantity it is actually consumed. Okay, so a drug or a medicine is generally prescribed by a physician or a doctor to either treat or diagnose or to prevent a particular type of disease. But when a particular drug or a medicine is consumed or used in a improper way, or a medicine is misused, or it is used by the living organism more than the quantity which is actually required by the body, then it causes different types of complications, okay, and that is termed as the abuse of the drugs. So the different types of drugs are given here. So basically, the drugs are divided into two main types. The first one is psychotropic drugs, and the second one is psychedelic drugs. So what are these psychotropic drugs? These are those types of medicines which affect our mind, behavior, and emotions. Okay, so under the examples, we can take some important types such as sedatives, tranquilizers, stimulants, etc., where sedatives are the antidepressants which generally suppress the activities of our central nervous system, okay, and they also induce drowsiness and sleep in the living organisms, whereas the tranquilizers are also the antidepressant drugs which helps to decrease the tension and anxiety, giving a feel of calmness. While the stimulants are those type of psychotropic drugs which stimulates our central nervous system and makes us excited, makes us actually feel excited. So these types of drugs are usually prescribed by a doctor according to the condition or means mental health condition of a particular patient. But if these drugs are abused or if these are misused in an improper way, then they can lead to different types of complications in our bodies. Okay, the next type is the psychedelic drugs. So these are those drugs which are capable of producing abnormal psychic effects. So, which even includes different types of hallucinations. So what are hallucinations? Hallucination is a condition or an experience which is like it is a condition which is experienced by an human being or an animal where he or she will observe or perceive a particular condition or a situation which is exactly not there. Okay, so hallucinations can be very harmful for the health of the living organisms, and it can lead to different type of mental means ill effects to our mental health. So what is hallucination? I hope you understood. It is an experience which involve the apparent perception of something or a particular condition which is not basically present. Okay, so something which is not there, that particular patient who is having hallucinations will observe or will hear something which is actually not there. Okay, so psychedelic drugs are those which are capable of producing abnormal conditions of our mind, okay, or abnormal conditions including hallucinations, which is a condition where a person will experience some apparent perception of a condition or something which is not actually present. Okay, so examples of the psychedelic drugs are LSD, which is the full form of LSD is lysergic acid dimethylamide, okay, and psilocybin, etc. Now, the classes of drugs which are generally abused by the human beings are grouped into three important classes. The first one is opioids, number two is cannabinoids, and the third one is the coca alkaloids. Now, let us have a look at these important classes of drugs which are generally abused or misused by the human beings. So, the first one is opioids. These are the drugs or the medicines which bind to the specific opioid receptors present in our central nervous system and the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so examples of the opioids are heroin, which is commonly known as smack, and these opioids are generally extracted from poppy plant, the scientific name of poppy plant being Papaver somniferum. Okay, and how these opioids are harmful to our body is when these are taken or when these are misused by the human beings, and these are taken not according to the prescription of any physician, then they can have several types of complications in our body. They actually lead to depression, okay, and slows down the different types of metabolic functions of our body. Clear? The next class of the drugs which are generally misused are cannabinoids, and these chemicals, whenever they are consumed, they bind to the cannabinoid receptors which are present in our brain. Okay, so what happens is this chemicals, when we consume this, they go and they get attached to the receptors present in our brain termed as the cannabinoid receptors, and examples are marijuana, charas, etc. So these chemicals termed as cannabinoids are extracted from a plant termed as cannabis sativa. So here you can see this is the plant of cannabis sativa, and this the harmful effects of cannabinoids when they are abused are directly on our cardiovascular system of our body. That is, it affects our heart in a very complicated way and leads to different types of harmful conditions based on the cardiovascular system of our body. Okay, The next type of the drugs which are generally misused are the class termed as coca alkaloids, which are extracted from a plant termed as erythroxylum coca. So it is the image of the plant erythroxylum coca, and from this several chemicals are extracted. For example, cocaine is made from this plant, and cocaine is commonly termed as coke or crack. Okay, and this are also having adverse effects in our body. That is, whenever they are taken in excessive doses, they can lead to hallucinations. I have already mentioned what is hallucination. It is a condition of our mental health, like, or it is a condition of our mind or our psychic condition, when what happens, a person will experience something which is not actually present. That is, they will experience some stimuli which is not actually present. So these patients will either observe something or hear something, okay, some conditions which are actually not present. So this excessive doses of coca alkaloids can lead to hallucinations. Let us now discuss about the harmful effects of drug and alcohol abuse. So what is drug? Basically, we've already seen that it is a medicine or chemical substance which is used in the treatment of several types of diseases. So the drugs are actually useful when prescribed by a doctor against the different types of diseases for their prevention, diagnosis, or treatment. Whereas if the particular drug is consumed by a individual without the proper prescription of a doctor, and if it is used in excessive amount, then it can lead to different types of adversities in the body, leading to different types of harmful conditions. Okay, so here we will discuss about some of the very harmful effects of the drug abuse. Now, what is alcohol? Alcohol is a chemical substance which is referred to as ethyl alcohol or ethanol, which in turn is produced by the fermentation of the sugar by the yeast enzymes. Alcohol, when abused, or excessive use of alcohol, is very much harmful for our body, which can act as a stimulant in the blood and also can act as a depressant, which leads to the inactivity of our central nervous system. Okay, it can also reduce the efficiency of functioning of the different types of tissues of our body. So let us just have a look at the important points regarding the adverse effects of drug and alcohol abuse in our body. Okay, first point is it includes the immediate effects of the drug and alcohol abuse, which are reckless behavior and violence. That is, a person who is abusing the drugs or alcohol, he can have several careless or reckless behavior and violent actions. Okay. Next, excessive dosage of the drugs may lead to even coma or death due to several respiratory problems, heart failure, or cerebral hemorrhage. Also, the constant or excessive use of the drugs can lead to damages in the nervous system and also cause liver cirrhosis. Okay, those
persons who take drugs intravenously, okay, that is with the help of injections, they can be infected with several types of harmful infectious disease, termed as AIDS or hepatitis B, which even don't have any proper treatment. Also, if a mother is a drug or alcohol abuser during her pregnancy, then it is known to adversely affect the growing fetus. Okay, the drug and alcohol abuse can also interfere with the proper functioning of the endocrine system, including the different hormones of our body as well. So all in all, we have seen that this misuse of the drugs and alcohol both can have several types of deleterious effects on our body, and it should be controlled and prevented. Next, let us have a look at the important measures of the prevention and control of the drugs and alcohol abuse. So, the important points are, first of all, avoid undue peer pressure. That is, the children or the child who is undergoing this type of drug and alcohol abuse, he should try to avoid undue peer pressure. Sometimes what happens, the parents or the elders pressurize the children based on the performance of their classmates or peers or friends, and sometimes they get that much pressurized that they are forced to take those wrong path and abuse those drugs and alcohol. So it should be taken care about that the children should try to avoid undue peer pressure. Next, proper education and counseling should be given to all the children of how to deal with the different problems and stress in life, so that they don't get addicted to the drug and alcohols. Okay. Next, seeking help from parents and friends. That is, the different children or the child should seek help from their parents and elders. If in any case, if they're having any problem in any phase of their life, then and there they should be provided with help from their elders or parents, so that they don't get addicted to the drug and alcohol. Next, if in case a particular individual is affected with the drug and alcohol abuse, then he or she should seek medical help of the qualified physiologists or the psychologists, and they should be taken to the rehabs so that it becomes easier for them to get rid of those harmful addiction. Okay. And the last point is looking for the danger signs. That is, the teachers, parents and the friends should try to look for and also try to diagnose or the different problems related to the alcohol and drug abuse, which in turn would help in initiating proper remedy or treatment for the affected individual. So with the help of these steps, it will be quite easier to control and prevent the drug and alcohol abuse. So that's all for this chapter. We have come to an end, and we are going to wind up with this chapter, with this class. So thank you everyone. Study well.